Sega Rally Championship.
Damn, that's a funky beat. Today we're going to be looking at Sega Rally Championship for the Sega Saturn, another racing game. Unlike a couple of the other games that I unfortunately have, this game has aged absolutely beautifully, and it is regarded as one of the best racing games of all time, whether it's arcade or home console. But the object of this game, as I said earlier, was racing. You need to get from the beginning of the course, you get one lap, and you go to the finish line, and you see how fast you can do that. I start out in 15th, but every position that I move up, and when I finish that position, that's the spot that I start at in the next race. But there are two cars to choose from in this game. This match, or this game, that I have recorded for you guys' enjoyment and viewing pleasure, is the Toyota Celica. There is another car, it's called the Lancia Delta. Fortunately, neither of these cars are in production anymore. That's kind of a fortunate thing, because they probably would be really old and outdated or awful looking compared to today. But this is the early 90s, mid 90s when this game came out, so in the arcades. So it's gonna be that style. So let me explain what's going on the screen. Bottom left hand, you have your RPM meter and your gears and your speed. Unfortunately, we are looking at the Japanese release, not the official US release. So it's in kilometers per hour, but I have no knowledge of if it's in kilometers or miles per hour for the US release. But I just finished and cleared that stage in 56.95 seconds. And the total time, since there are only 3 stages, is with every stage, it adds automatically the time on.
2, 1, go!
So what else is going on the screen is the very top middle. There's my time left before my next checkpoint. On the right hand, there is the best time that's pre-programmed into the game for like high scores, and you can also save your score, which is what I do at the very end of this, since I have a 4-in-1 action replay or memory card. But also above that is your position, and on the very left-hand top side is my total time and my lap time. Lap time is only referring to the race that I'm on now. So to the gameplay aspect, the courses are very well designed. I must give the designers credit. They had ingenious track designs that are both challenging, playable, fun, and they can be difficult to a certain degree, but you can still pick up and play this game very easily. That's one of the things that I like about Sega stuff. Their arcade games, a lot of the older 90s arcade games like Virtual Cop and stuff like that, Area 51, stuff that's not only from Sega, that's from also like Bally, or Midwestern, and Sega and Atari, stuff like that, that it's very playable. You can just pick it up and enjoy it thoroughly. But this is a very good console port. As you can see, everything looks defined and smooth, if that makes sense for all these pixels flying across the screen. There's no frame rate issues at all. It's very, very well produced game. So that was the second course that we just finished. I mean, it's always cooler when you sing finish. So now we're on to the last course, which is Mountain. One thing that I do need to address is, like, on the desert stage, it appears that you're driving you're into a forest for half that race. On Mountain, you're driving on pavement, and for Forest, you're driving on pavement quite a bit. But for this game, you're on pavement all the time, which really doesn't make sense to me. I mean, because if I were to drive on a mountain, I'd be thinking going up steep slopes like a rock climber or something. One of those cars. This has to be, though, the challenging course. There's a hairpin left, and I always suck at these long turns. Hairpin right, I stand corrected. And I just T-boned that car, my bad. And I'm about to pass it. Anyway, back to this. The spectators are even better looking. I'm still figuring out my video processing and capturing format, or software called Video Glide for Macintosh computers. So I'm still trying to figure out how to get the best gameplay possible. Right now I'm at 50 frames per second. So if anybody has any recommendations, or if you want me to go higher, I believe I can go 65 or something frames per second. But that's a deal by its own self. It's software, not a game. Yeah, I failed here. So anyway, we are getting near the end of this level. At the end of the game, since I did not finish in first. Thank you for watching. One of the last unique thing about this game is that the name entry screen. It's very cool the way that it kind of spins around the letters. Anyway, as I was trying to do earlier, thank you again for watching. Don't forget to check out my other videos, like my crazy Halo Reach round, which I had 46 kills in one game. Also, don't forget to check out my other reviews, my Sega Master System stuff, my PS1, and my Saturn games. And anybody who's out there who's collecting old games, keep it alive. We're the last people who do this, and keep playing.